Hello, hello again. Welcome to another episode on the 0% channel. I have today with me again, you guys know her from the last time, Miss Frenchie, our assistant here over at the organization. She has been killing it with a lot of different consultations with you all from various situations. And the power of the express trust going behind it, utilizing the laws that enforces the express trust, because it's all about contract law. We also have with me one of our newest members to the family, a private client, Miss Roya, and she is going to be helping us to understand a little bit more about what her and her brother have been personally dealing with as far as the initiation of a child support application. And the information that we talk about today is going to go right hand in hand with the CPS service as well. There's some laws that I want to share that corresponds with child support and CPS. So how are the both of you today? Thank you for joining me.
Fine, thank you.
Wonderful, thank you.
Good, good. Thanks for coming in. So I know your brother couldn't join us today, but the questions that I have for him, I believe you can answer. And these are the questions that our listeners really need to know. They really understand these things. I'm going to go over some key details as to what is needed to close out or terminate a child support case. And that's going to further lead into another webinar that I will do only for members who are available to the organization. But you'll get a little sneak peek of what that's going to be here. So just go ahead and introduce yourself, Roya, your brother, your family, where you come from. And the first thing that I want you to get into is, how did this case begin?
Well, my name is Roya. My brother's Ajmal. We are from Afghanistan, but been in the States for quite some time. His situation started several years back in about 2016, where he had to file for custody to see his daughter. And in doing so, his ex filed falsely a restraining order just to change things and to get things towards her benefit. So with that, she's tried to stop him from seeing his child, and at the same time trying to get child support. So he had been paying child support all along, and more than the court had told him to. However, recently she's filed with the county of Ventura to receive more child support.
And, you know, Frenchie, we've seen this time and time again where there's a lot of double dipping happening within child support, and the agencies such as the state organizations, they are notorious for approving these things, even though it is illegal. And we're going to talk about how it's illegal in this podcast. I usually like to ask if, you know, the offspring that we're dealing with here, if they're under 18, most likely yes. However, there's still child support cases where the offspring has reached 18 and then there's arrears, and they're still going after the fathers for that. And usually how I like to coach the men, because they're the ones who are dealing with this, is there some type of relationship between the mother and the father? Are they on speaking terms financially and emotionally for the upbringing and development of the children? So would you say your niece and nephews have that from your brother and their mother?
It's hard to say for sure. On my brother's side, she had that. However, the mom has taken it one step further, where on his last, which would be about 5 years ago, where he actually saw his daughter, she falsely also called CPS with false allegations of which he was driving with vodka in his hand, and he was in a hotel room and didn't have his pants on. So each time those got canceled because even CPS saw right through her.
Right. Okay. So we there's a paper trail, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
The shenanigans she's up to, for sure.
Okay, good. So prior to coming to the 0%, were there any attempts that were made to terminate this case in the beginning, or did you know that right when the case started, you was already with the organization?
Nothing prior to that. I was familiar with the 0%, and I said, this is the route you need to take and go this route. Otherwise, you're just going to dig a hole deeper for yourself.
Okay. So I got a bit of an understanding of what's going on here. And, before this, Frenchie, you briefed me that you were the one who orchestrated this consultation with Roya, and this case began quickly, a little bit before the consultation. So you had informed Roya to go ahead and let's go ahead and terminate this internal case with the agency before it gets further, just into a big heap of things with the actual California courts, right?
That's correct. So the first thing, when she submitted the copy of the letter that her brother received, the first thing I did was going into the county courthouse online to check the court case, or to check with the name of her brother, and show that there was no court case for family law that was entered under her name, the name of her brother. So that indicate for me that that was just at the fresh start of a child support case. That means that the mother of the child just submitted it on the application, and by law they have to then require certain type of information from the father as well. So they were building up the case, but the case was not entered into the court of the state or the county where the brother is. So that's where I was like, well, we have to nip it in the bud right away. And that's what we done.
And that's exactly what you do. See, that's what they're counting on. They're counting on someone to be in latches, which means to go over the timely filing period that they give you to either rebut or put in some form of answer to what's been put against you. And so the very first thing here is the application by the mother. That is considered an actual complaint that's against the fathers. So that's the first thing that you want to get rid of. I'm dealing with a lot of people who already are past that. And, the child support orders are already in. There is an established case number, and there's also an established child support case number. So at that point, we still want to cancel the actual complaint, but a lot of our remedy is coming from affidavit of denials on every single order that exists on the father. So what I wanted to do is share my screen and show the actual letter that Roya had typed up for her brother, and to just kind of enforce what Frenchie just said here. So this is the letter that was dealing, it's out of the Ventura County District, right? Caramello. And it says here, I am writing to formally request the closure of the child support application in accordance with California state law. Now, per your correspondence dated August 3rd, 2023, you have not received the necessary information required from the mother within the mandated 30-day period, which is essential for the progression of her requested child support case. So what was that information that the child support agency was waiting on for the mother to provide. Do we know that information?
Yes. So basically, any application, the mother have a certain period of time, which is the 30 days. I went on the state law to provide basically what does she request, and she needs to provide also her finances. So the same thing, they requested the finances to Roya's brother, but the mother have the same requirements, and she did not, because what I saw when Roya was telling me, she was in close contact with me to let me know when she was receiving anything. And she was telling me that they received a letter saying that as of now, they still haven't received the required paperwork. So that's where I drafted that letter saying this is now the mandated 30 days have passed. So I bring up, I look at the law of the state of California, family law. And that's where I saw that the mandated 30-day period has passed. So they have to shut it down.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
But if you don't know, some people, they just leave this at that, right? And they don't reply or they don't do anything.
Right.
Yeah.
And if I can add something to that, so the form that they require for you to fill out is the FL 150. And they're very sneaky in the way that they do this, where they send you all the paperwork that they're requesting, but they're casually adding this form on there, kind of like, here you go, fill this out. So they want you to willfully include all your finances so they can just get you right.
Yeah, they want to see what you can, or basically what can they take out of your paycheck if you're employed, and what can they enforce if you're self-employed, which is garnishing your bank accounts, basically.
Yes, and they send you this form twice in 2 different envelopes, but it's the same thing.
So they want you to...
And we responded, and when they sent that letter that she's talking about, we did respond to that as well, and provided documentation saying why we would not respond, or why her brother will not respond. So the letter that you are showing right now is the final letter that we sent, that actually the case got closed on the 22nd. So you see, August 22nd, the child support case got closed.
Yeah,
so
this take a look at that.
Yep.
But they make it to where you feel overwhelmed and scared at the same time, where, oh my God, this is coming in 2 different colored envelopes. Oh, I better take care of this before.
Mm-hmm. They do.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing. Every time there is a child support enforcement case number, there is automatically going to be a court case number. Now, it doesn't mean that it successfully went to the court and the judge seen all the information on both sides and then issues a case number. No. The initial application that the mothers submit, it is first submitted into the paper. And the local newspaper, just like doing a DBA or an FBN, they are actually acting as a witness to the document that they're publishing, and they issue the case number. So this case number here, if the mother had provided everything that she wanted, that they needed, this would eventually convert into an actual case number that has been seen by a judge, and the last digit would change. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what they do. So what this is telling me is we have this here canceled. But in the letter, they state that this case number may have orders in the future that we need to handle. So I would not say we're completely off the hook, because I just want to make sure that we put the we have fire insurance before the fire takes place.
Right.
And so we're going to use this case number to put those documents in, and we'll show you how to do that.
Okay. Thank you.
This letter here. Oh yeah, you're welcome. It says case closure. I believe Elenia is the daughter, correct?
Yes, Eliana.
Eliana. Okay, Eliana. It says case closure, closure only means that the local child support agency will stop providing collection services, which is this number here.
Yeah.
Child support orders will remain in effect if you are currently ordered. That's the big word right there, if.
Yeah.
It didn't say shall, which means must. So this is if. That means they're going to keep this open in case she tries to do this again.
Right.
And this is what I mean by having fire insurance. That's where Frenchie will help with putting together your writ of injunction. Because if she tries to file again, trying to initiate another case from this case number here, the writ of injunction is going to be solely based on double jeopardy.
Okay.
That's a violation of double jeopardy where she's trying to double dip. Once you mess up, that's it. I wish it would state in this thing that the child support agency was closed with prejudice, but they're not going to say it, but I know it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're just basically saying that this court case number is still going to be open. If you are currently ordered to pay child support, you must continue to pay until the order is changed. Now, there is no order as of yet. So this is a major win. And what really helped is that previous letter, the fact that your brother had got a doctor's note, because in the eyes of the clerk of court, why would they even charge someone when they may not even be able to work?
Right.
Right. I mean, he can, but they're looking at it that way. And so that he did help.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me click out of here. I want to go to the actual reason that starts child support in the first place. Let's see here. Every state has this. Every state has it. And I'm talking about if this is between a married couple, they just had a newborn baby, there's a certain application that they fill out that gets them into trouble, and they don't even know it. It's the voluntary declaration of parentage. This begins everything. I don't know if your brother remembers filling out this information so that his name can go on the birth certificate for the child.
Yes, he does.
They have done it. Okay, so if he did, this is the thing that he wants to go ahead and rescind. There's an actual form that he can use that's coming from the, I think it's Vital Statistics with California. There's an actual form that he can use, and that's the form that's going to go with your writ of injunction.
Okay.
Now, he's not claiming to be the father, but he's claiming to not be a parent. That's the word we got to get away from. So that's very, 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 very important, because without doing that, and that's just going to open the door to Title 42, 666. And, you know, when people look at that number, they see, well, that's the beast. There's an encoding system within the Eastern ways of mythology in the Bible. So 6 + 6 + 6 is 18. 1 + 8 is 9. It always goes back to, that is the number of consciousness. So when they say the beast, you're dealing with yourself. Are you able to handle your own affairs? If not, we will handle your affairs under this numerology system. That's how they look at it. And from there, you go to 674. And these are the payments to the states, right?
Yeah.
All the way down to Section 3B. They tell you here the reason why they're able to operate child protective services and child support services is because they're utilizing fake courts. They're not using Article 3 courts. It's the abuse and neglect courts. and the Administrative Procedures Court. So that is what we got to get away from. There are 5 key points to a successful child support termination. Number 1, denial affidavits. Like we said in the beginning, deny every single child support order. This is if it happens for your brother, if she actually tries to go through it. But for all of you out there who have this thing, this is what you need to do. Number 2, an affidavit of rescission of that voluntary declaration of paternity. Number 3, in a child support case, there's usually an evaluation of assets and income to determine how much will be deducted from the father's paycheck or business accounts, and therefore it would be wise to submit a terms and conditions to the court judge and also to the other party, detailing how the offspring is going to be raised, covering health, food, clothing, its activities, schedules, belief systems, and it gives the other party an opportunity to answer. That's what the judge is really doing when there isn't some type of agreement between mother and father. He's stepping in to put together a plan.
Yeah.
So if we show them that we have our own plan, let's say you send it to the mother and she doesn't answer, well, she's now in latches.
Okay.
I've seen that happen before. And the judge had to go exactly with what the father had wrote.
Okay.
So
that's great information. I think I was listening to that on the Offspring Lease series.
Yeah, that leads into the Offspring Lease Agreement because, that's where the father's estate working on behalf of the landlord, which is the express trust. And, the father is the lessor and the offspring's estate is the tenant leasee.
Yeah.
So that's an agreement that has to be renewed every 7 years, but it doesn't allow the state to violate a private contract.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah. So we got a plan in store in case we have to use fire insurance, but was an awesome win. It's really good to have it actually in writing. And
right.
I appreciate you being able to share that with us.
Yeah, of course. And I'm very appreciative. My brother's definitely appreciative. And so I want to thank you both for everything. You do a wonderful job, and we're all grateful. Learning everything we have so far from you. I knew to go. I was 100% sure. I said, this is what you need to do. And he said, okay, I'm going to take your word for it. And sure enough.
Well, I know he's happy now.
Yes. Good. Well, that's one battle.
That's one battle, correct. That is one battle.
See his daughter. Yeah.
He's able to see his daughter?
No. He hasn't. She's in Ventura County, and he hasn't seen her for 5 years since the 3 back-to-back CPS false claims that were also closed as not being real. But she's just not allowing him to see his daughter, and he's gone through court with an attorney, which is problem number 1, and they've been able to do nothing for him as well.
Okay. Well, I would say this is a good time to at least get his express trust established with the I.R.S. on that 0 file list.
Yeah.
Get his estate and get the daughter's estate, because you know where I'm going with it. It's that child lease.
Right. Yeah. I've already done the apostille for him. Now it's been sent off to
the federal level.
Yes, to the federal level.
Yeah. And then we also start working on the affidavit of domicile, so that route as well. So while dealing with this case, we were already I was giving Roya what to do is preparing the rest, which is affidavit of domicile. Give her the instruction on, what's next to do to continue to make sure that, everything is in order.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he just recently had the surgery. The last one was in July, so we were waiting for him to get better to begin everything with the private client situation.
Speechless that we have so many opportunities to show what this can do for any family.
Absolutely.
That's one of the things I get a high about, is the opportunity to help. I'm thankful that you trust the process. You trust what I'm speaking about, and I like to just show what I'm talking about, versus just showing it and saying it all the time.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, I've been researching all this for the past 3 years. And then I'd say in February, I got your book. And from there, it's just been amazing. I said, you break everything down and you go into detail about everything. And it's amazing. You do a wonderful
fun writing the second book. It's almost done.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm having a little bit more fun with this one.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate everything. And thank you as well, Frenchie. You're amazing, very calm and understanding. So I appreciate everything.
Thank you. You're a pleasure to work with as well. And you were executing, everything real fast. So that was also very helpful, So thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
I'm happy for you guys.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Perfect. Well, you all, that's going to be it for this video. Stay tuned for more remedies to come and testimonies from the students. We hope that you can join us and join the fight against those that are considered the powers to be. So, yeah. Thank you all. We'll see you next time.